Welcome back, guys. This and why they always throw. Why are they always throw? Anyways, welcome to my channel, guys. And today we will be discussing the complete guide to managing your money. I don't know, I'm a little ecstatic today. But yeah, I'm going to give you 7 things you must do to manage your money. Very, very simple. We will go through them in bits, and then hopefully at the end of this, you'd understand how to manage your money. Number 1, set long and short-term goals. I beg you. I can kneel down for you. The number 1 thing you must do is to set long and short-term money goals. What are money goals? It's simply what you want to achieve in the future. Realistically, you know what they say about goals. It has to be specific, it has to be measurable, it has to be, is it attainable or actionable now? Then realistic, and it has to be time bound. Spend some time articulating and writing down your money goals. Somebody said a goal that is written down is as good as 33% achieved, right? So write down your money goals. What is an example of a short-term money goal? A short-term money goal is something you can literally see it in your notes. You can tell yourself, maybe it is, I want to be saving 20% of my monthly income towards my retirement plans. Or I want to be investing 10% of my monthly earnings in real estate. I want to do this. Something that you can literally see. A long-term money goal is more futuristic, right? I want to retire with, $50,000. I want to retire at 65 with 100 million naira in my retirement account. Or I want to create a trust where my children would have access to 1 billion naira by the time I'm going, or by the time I die, that kind of thing. So make sure you create a short and long-term goal for your finances. It would help you to determine what you can, do or not. And in fact, when you relate with financial managers, when you talk to financial planning experts or financial advisors, that is the first thing they do. Many times they would analyze your current level. They will ask you, what do you want to achieve money-wise? And then they would look at the risk that is involved. What they would check what we call your risk profile, which is, your risk profile is based on where you are, what you are earning, what your age is, and maybe your health circumstances, your family circumstances right now. What kind of risk should you be taking? For example, somebody that is in their 20s and you're probably just in college trying to, get things together, they can put money in more risky investments than somebody that is 60, that is just starting their investment journey as well, right? So because you are 60, you can't really do so much. You can't be playing around with money and trying different things. But if you're 20, you're 30, you can still so your risk profile helps the financial advisor to determine what kind of investment suits you best, right? So set long-term and short-term money goals. Number 2, build an emergency fund. I cannot overemphasize this. Build an emergency fund. There is nothing that should stop you from building an emergency fund. I have 2 emergency funds that I have. One is for living expenses. Although now I've depleted everything. I've spent everything on my business. But yes, build an emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of money you would use to live if anything comes up. And build another emergency fund for, unforeseen circumstances. Another way to sort of protect yourself is have insurance. I don't like surprises. They stole your phone in the one chance that you entered. What will you do? How will you pay? How will you get a new phone? My phones are insured. I can always get it back. My laptop is insured. My AirPods is insured. Even my TV in my house is insured. What have I not insured in my house? My gas cooker, I've insured it. My fridge, oh, that's insured. My microwave is insured. Literally, I think it's only my couch and my PS that have not been insured in my house. Literally. Every other single thing in my house is insured. And now that I started doing these camera things, my camera is about to be insured. Literally, I insure everything because I don't like surprises at all. My car, comprehensively insured. If anything comes up, I am reasonably certain that, they would not meet me off guard. And I have a reliable insurance company that would sort them out. Many of you are skeptical and you're like, bad thing will not happen to me, so I cannot go and insure my things. Yes, but I think that financial wealth is more about stability than volatility. You want to be stable. You want to have a lifestyle where you are certain of what will happen to you per time. Yes, you cannot plan it all. For example, there is a kidnap in our family and then you need to pay a ransom and all these kind of things. Those are very, very exceptional circumstances. Or there is, a cancer treatment you need to sort out. All those, so many things. Yeah, they could come up. But at least make sure that the primary things, the basic things are not enough to tip you over. If you need examples of insurance companies that you could reach out to, I'm trying as much as possible. Our director has said that I'm always advertising brands too much in my videos. So I'm trying to lay it down. So if you need examples or organizations you want that could help you insure your items, your gadgets, your devices, please reach out to me. You can probably drop a comment as well. And I would endeavor to respond. So number one was what? Have a long-term and short-term money goal. 2 is to build an emergency fund. Number 3, I can nail down for you. Create a budget. You don't have. Yes, we know, I know. You don't have. Create a budget. Create a budget to create a budget. What is a budget? It is just a plan on how you want to spend your money. You know how much you will make in a month now. At least you can estimate. Now, okay, every month, bad as it bad, at minimum, I will make 100K. Create a budget. Create it. There is nothing that takes off from creating a budget. I beg you, always create a budget. Even if you are not certain, you know that, okay, your money, create a budget for the expenses. How much will you spend? Okay, when you collect your 100K, you are a church person, you will pay your tithe. Remove your tithe money. Remove your savings money. Remove the savings for your rent. Because if you are paying rent of 300,000, right, there is already an amount that you should be taking off every month, right? I think that should be how much? Is it 25,000? What's that one? 25,000. If you are paying 300K every month, it means you should be saving 25,000 for your rent. Take out 25,000. If your wife is pregnant, delivery money is 300,000. But you know from your experience that this Nigeria, things may not be whatever. Start planning to save 500,000. If you have to save 500,000 in 9 months, you know how much that is. Take it out of your monthly income. Create a budget like that. Many of us are waiting on miracles. Yes, miracle will happen, but when miracle happens with a budget, it is an addition, which means you can then save more, you can then plan better and do a lot more things, but not when you don't have a plan. And I don't know whether some of us are shameless or we don't even just know. We are comfortable, running around helter-skelter. And I'm not sorry to say this. If you are somebody that, your wife is pregnant and it is when she's about to deliver that you are looking for money, I'm sorry, you really need help. You should not be at that kind of situation. I'm sorry, if somebody reaches out to me and say they want to pay their rent, I should borrow them money to pay their rent. I will never give them. So you add 12, not that they pursue you out of your house, so you add 12 months to plan this thing. You could not pay. You did not save any money. You now say, I've not saved any money. The rent is just 300. It's just, and save them for the last 12 months. And it's not like you are just renting a new apartment or something and you need to borrow for rent. It doesn't make sense. So create a budget and plan. There are like so many, if you go out on the internet to check, there are so many ways you can create a budget. There's the 50-30-20 rule. Keep 50% for your needs, keep 30% for your wants, save 20%. There is the 60-40 rule. There are so many rules on the internet. But I don't believe in like following any rule. I believe in looking at what works for you. Save and save and save and save. In fact, let me modify a little. Save. Cultivate a savings habit. And then save for your retirement. There are two different things, though. They are totally two different things. Most of us save, like I said in earlier videos, most of us save towards a particular goal. And that is not a problem. It's fine to save towards a particular goal. But what happens to when there is no goal again? When your bones are weak and you can't run around again? Yes, you in your mind, you are hustling. You are selling things on the road. You are pursuing vehicles up and down. You're doing this one. What happens when you retire? What happens when you don't have the energy to do those things again? Every day you're coming from Yanokwaja to VI to your office. What happens when your bones can't carry you again? How do you want to survive? So save and save for retirement. A lot of us, we spend money and save what is left. Rather, we should be saving and spending what is left. Think about it. If you want to pay your tithes, would you not calculate a percentage of the money you earn and pay it to your tithes first? For those of you that believe in tithing, you would literally earn 100K and take 10,000 naira and first pay it to your church. It's not whatever is left you would spend. So why is it that when it comes to your own future, you will first spend all the 90,000? I remember, I have not saved money this month, though. Then you now save 1K. Especially those of us that work in the offices, we are terrible at this. We will not save, or we will save for December and then we will blow it all up in December, or save for a vacation and we'll blow it all up during summer. So it is important that you cultivate a habit. It's an habit. You need to save as consistently as possible. The person in the market that is selling goods, most of them are doing better than us because, they do ajo, they do esusu, or what the local people call esusu. They literally save a specified amount daily based on their business activities. They already know, I will take 2. Maybe it's just 10,000 naira. She takes 2. Another person takes 3. Some will take 1 based on their business sales daily. And they save this money constantly. They save this money constantly regardless of what happens. So they cultivate the habit of continuously doing that. Is why when I've heard somebody say when her grandma died or when her grandma died, they literally went under the mama's bed and found a box full of money. Right? So these people have cultivated that habit, and that's how much they used to live. That's how they survive. That's how they know how to live. So, the principle is the principle. Save and save for your retirement. That's how many? I think that's 4. Create long-term and short-term money goals, right? Build an emergency fund. Anyhow you want to do it. Create a budget. Always have a budget. Then save and save for your retirement. Save and save for your retirement. Number 5, pay off costly debts. If you have costly debts, I beg you, just go and pay it tomorrow. You cannot pay. Please create a plan to pay it. Any debts that is all this really, I have really seen a lot in Lagos. There is a company that charges almost 70% a month. Almost 70% a month. I told you earlier about some in the good debt, bad debt video about the friend that took a 60,000 naira loan and is paying 1,000 naira in interest daily. How now? That is literally 50%. 50%. That's really, really, really terrible. 50% interest in a month is really a shark. I now understand why they call them shark. They want to draw your blood. All the loan companies want to draw your blood. Please, if you take a loan and the interest on that loan is more than 30% per annum, I beg you, just go and find a way to just pay off that loan immediately. So we have said that you should set long and short-term money goals. We have said you should create an emergency fund, right? You should create a budget and stick to it. We have asked that you save for retirement and just, develop a savings habit. That's it. Then we were speaking about paying off costly debt. If you owe money, I beg you, just pay it, right? Pay off your costly debt. Pay off any debts that, I spoke about, the interest on those loans. If you are paying more than 30% annually, especially in Nigeria, you should go and find a way to, reorganize the debts or settle it somehow, or just have a plan to settle it. And don't take those kind of loans again. Like I mentioned, there are loans that I have seen 70%, effectively 70%, 50%, 40% a month. So please always know how much you're paying in advance and clear off any costly debt. In case you are not in Nigeria, you're staying in the UK, you're staying in the US, please calculate the effective rates on your credit card debt and map out the plan to pay it off. I know it may be painful. You may have to make a lot of lifestyle changes, but pay them off as soon as possible. And if you want to start paying those off, start using your debit card, right? Start using your debit card and then start clearing those credit card debts, with time. Then invest. Invest for now, invest for the future, invest for the retirement. In the last, in one of my videos, I had mentioned that if you saved 100,000 monthly for 20 years, you would have how much? If you save 100,000 monthly for 20 years, you would have maybe 24 million. But you invest 100,000 monthly for 20 years at 10% interest, you would have 71.9 million. Literally, the difference is clear, right? So invest. And don't just invest haphazardly. Don't invest because so person said you should invest. Find out, do your research and invest. If you don't know what to invest in, start small. Call an investment manager, call one of these companies, or just download a simple app, right? Download a simple app. Director, you'll not be angry, but I would mention some of these apps. Download Cowrywise. They have a mutual funds investment. They've got savings that, give you at least 10% per annum. They've got different investment plans. PiggyVest is there. Bamboo, Rise, if you want to invest in dollars. If you want to invest in the Nigerian Stock Exchange, wealth.ng, so many of these platforms. I invest by, is it Sterling Bank? So many platforms. Please invest. And don't invest for now. Invest for the future as well. Finally, borrow smart. There is nothing you can do. Borrow smart. As you grow in your finances, you would get to a point where you have to borrow. But make sure you are borrowing smart. Borrow in a way that makes sense. Borrow only for good reasons. Make sure that your debt is supporting your growth, is helping you increase your net worth and not reducing it. And then you'll be fine. So again, what are those 7 things you must consider or that you must do to make sure that you are managing your money well? 1, set long and short-term money goals. 2, build an emergency fund. 3, create a budget. 4, save for your retirement. 5, pay off costly debt. 6, invest. Oh my God. invest. And 7, borrow smart. Shikenan, you're fine. Once you do these 7 things, you would most likely, I know it's not that straightforward. It's not something you can implement like almost immediately, but if you can do all the 7 things, with time, you would grow into a future where money is never a problem again. Now, you may be asking, but I'm in my 20s. How do I start? Any money you make now, save at least 10% of it. At the very least, 10% of it. If you can do 30%, absolutely fine. If you are still staying in your parents' house, oh my God, save 60%. Save 60%. Not every year. People say, there is not too small investment. You may not be motivated to invest more if you are not seeing fair return. So I always advise people, start when you have 100K. And how do you have 100K? You save up to get 100K, right? Start at 100K or start at 50K. If you're in Nigeria, if you're in the US, start at probably $100, or outside Nigeria, just start at about $100. $100 is usually a good amount to start with. So if you're 20, 25, or you're in 20s generally, save at least 10 to 15% monthly. If you're in your 30s, do 30%, 15 to 30% on the average. Try to make sure that you're saving 15 to 30% on the average. Then don't cash out when you jump jobs. A lot of us do not know that when you are in Nigeria, if you shift jobs, maybe you move from one job to another job, and there is a 4-month gap in between, you can literally go and cash out your pension. I beg you, don't cash out your pension. If you are in your 40s, find an online retirement calculator immediately, pay off your debt, invest your money. If you are in your 50s, you need to save a lot more aggressively, invest a lot more aggressively, and you will be fine. It's been great discussing with you guys today about the 7 things you must do to manage your money properly. See you same time, same station next time. It's your guy Timmy on Treasure Trails. Remember to share, like, subscribe, comment on this channel. See you next time. Peace out.